Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the continuation of Ixion here on nypw Professional Walkthroughs channel with me, your host, Max. So, on the previous episode, we entered our third solar system, and there was this massive storm which was slowly moving. So when we initially came in, the middle section of the solar system has been completely engulfed in the storm. As we were exploring the industrial zone, reactor wreckage, command center, collapsed food production district. Then, however, the biggest problem was the shift of the storm, or its slow movement through the sector, as we were still stuck in this upper section of the solar system, and we had to move through the actual storm, which almost destroyed the thick wind. Now the storm is moving away, and so we have the entire system for us to explore, as there are so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets, and we still don't have the data which we need in order to actually have a potential idea of where to jump next. And that is what we're going to be doing now. We're going to be going through the planets in order to figure out what needs to be done in order for us to move even further. So let's jump to Croc CP41. So, summary of intelligence. A telluric planet with small quantity of water presented as ice. There are many large black telluric formations across its surface. The atmosphere of P41 is heavy with cloud cover and storms enveloping the planet, scouring it with solid aluminum rain. Eden has noted a formation of particular interest. Transition from the Francis's team. This is the Francis team. We have landed on Site 0. We should be protected from the aluminium rain here. We have located the formation of unknown origin, and we are commencing exploration on the site. So we're gonna start with that, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. While that is going on, we're going to send out more probes into the sector in order to discover what else is potentially hiding in here. If there's some more scientific locations, we are tasked to potentially unlock the fourth sector, but I don't see the point behind it as of yet, to be perfectly honest. Thanks to all the upgrades which we have done, the hull's integrity is holding steadily, and right now, like, the biggest problem which we have is currently being the actual trust in the sectors. So I was thinking, for stability, we can put down the legislative strengthening center, and I don't know, potentially I can like pop it down somewhere around here or maybe somewhere else. But we still have the potential to mess around with things. I was able to put it down over here, which helps it out. And we're gonna have to definitely do something with this overall happiness in Sector 1. We have put down the Legislative Strengthening Center in this Sector 2. We have 2 of these locations to boost our overall happiness. We're gonna speed up the game in order to get this at faster pace. We have another probe. There's a large ice concentration, large silicon. There seems to be some carbon as well. And once the scientific facility is done with purging the waste, we're going to take a look at what we can potentially do next with the science. I'm really hoping we're going to get some science points here on Croc P41 in order for us to get some additional research, because currently we're not getting anything. So the team reports that the telluric formation is circular in shape and has steep sides. They have begun mapping the numerous tunnels that led inside it. Initial reports suggest that these were not created by natural phenomenon but dug intentionally. Continued behavioral analysis of team is in registering breaches of Dolo safety protocol, as well as metaphysical and psychological aberrations. Once crew members appear to have removed their protective helmet, convinced that the air in the tunnels was breathable, accounting for P41's atmosphere. A remaining lifespan is estimated to be 37 minutes. Okay, so we can override the security protocol for France's team, continue exploration of the formation, implement strict psychological monitoring. So if we do this, DDoS attack, flooding Eden Vigilance Network, the Francis team will be able to act without constraint, independent of Dolos protocol. With the help of specifically designed Dolos protocol, the Francis team will continue their expedition and analyze the high level of aluminium. Let's go with that one. Hopefully we won't lose the crew of Francis. It already happened when we went on board of the medical district wreckage. There was some sort of dead space necromancer, or what's the name of that alien creature, and it kind of killed the crew, so that then tried to board the Tiquin, and that was kind of funky. So I somehow managed to not F up and potentially lose the entire ship in this sector, which would kind of piss me off. But okay, a large amount of carbon, a large amount of ice. We can send out the probe over in that sector. And we can take a look at what potential upgrades we want to do next. Multiple connections, so charging speed is upgraded. We can get battery of tier 3. We can do 13 iron, which will produce more ore of the things. Recycling electronics is faster. We don't really have, we have only one waste treatment facility so far. It's not really that great. I haven't really used it properly. All the related things here is done. We don't have upgrades for legislative strengthening center. Complete, provides one stability sector, has Martin Memorial tier 1 industry specialization. We can do all of these upgrades in order to boost the overall happiness. I don't have all the upgrades, but if we get something like Martin Memorial, it will definitely help us out. The problem with the defrosting of the people is in the overall issue with it actually not defrosting the workers primarily. So when I keep getting the population, it's not the workers that I'm getting. So I'm not really sure how to actually fix that, and it's driving me nuts. Production speed is increased by 33%, production speed by 66%, by 100%. What else is potentially there for us to do? We can do stuff with the further boost. Provides one stability to sector that has Martic Memorial and tier 2 industry. We can go with that. We're gonna try to boost the overall happiness. The most happy people we have in sector 2. Sector 1 and 3 are kind of suffering, so that's not the best thing for us currently. Trying to take a look at what can be potentially done still. Okay, so Croc P. Thanks to intensive psychological and medical follow-up, the Francis team was able to conclude the study. Solid aluminum particles carried by the winds of P41 created the network of tunnels. The erosive process has transformed the topography of the planet. When the particles collided with each other inside the tunnels, their reverberation generates a low-frequency vibration. When this passes through the inner ear, it alters human neural activity. Okay, wow. I'm not sure if I want to still do the Naomi protocols and let them do whatever they want independently. So we can gather the scientific points at least. It will help us do the other research for the crew's happiness and morale, because we are in a sector where the massive ship, what's it called? God damn it, I keep forgetting. It has this weird name, something starting with E. And we are literally floating. The entire solar system is just a corpse field. So we constantly have the negative corpse field debuff for our overall happiness, which is why we need to invest into the motivation and all this other stuff in order to keep the population all happy. Capacity of housing increased by 30. Power cost is reduced by 2. Okay, that sounds awesome. We don't have upgrades for the legislative building. crop field. Crop farms produce 30% more waste. I don't know why would I want that. Food production speed is increased by 40%. I definitely want to get that upgrade. Mushroom wall we don't really have, so food production speed is increased by 15%. I'll try to go for this. This seems like the most logical thing for me to get right now. And I think we're gonna leave Croc P41 and we can go to 51. This planet was for the longest time covered by the actual storm. So as the range shifted, eventually Croc P43 and 37 were like uncovered, but this location and the Theta Crucis was for the longest time covered. So let's try to make sure that we utilize this properly. How's our ship mining looking? We don't really need to mine carbon in the other sectors, unless I would actually start to mine it in the third sector and start processing polymers there as well. We're targeting food, ice. We need ice also for the third sector, but I think it's full. Silicon can be prioritized for the second sector. That's where all of our electronics come from. Okay, so our probe has registered some interesting environmental data on P51. Primary analysis revealed conditions similar to those found on terrestrial seabed. These conditions may prove conducive to the existence of life. This is crew of the Francis. P51's atmosphere has extremely high gas concentration. We are navigating through an almost semi-liquid environment. The tremendous pressure is putting the resistance on our suits to the test. Having reached the core, we are preparing to sortie out towards what appears to be a collection of geysers that area can provide the environmental data. Set up advanced analysis infrastructure. Absolutely, we want to do just that. And let's do ship from the second sector, because our first sector has a mining ship, has our exploration vessel, and has our cargo ship. Our second sector has one mining ship, two cargo ships, and our third sector has one mining ship and again two cargo ships. So because we have one science vessel, we are kind of doing this one by one. I'm not really sure if I would be actually able to have, let's say if we would have the fourth sector, the potential is that maybe I will be able to get another science vessel and have two of them, so we can do two planets simultaneously. It is a possibility. The middle of the actual solar system here is absolutely empty. It's actually kind of strange to see that all the planets and everything else in the vicinity from the star itself is quite far. So it's almost like half of the system is only occupied in here and everything else is empty. Which, interesting spread of... Okay, there's high carbon and iron potential. The thing is, we can actually mark all the mining ships to go and process the carbon. But it's then the actual ships responsible for transforming or transporting the cargo to get it where we need it to. We have 200 workers. Capacity of population is 300 something in here.
An accident has occurred.
Stability, maintenance, large battery. Holy fudge, this thing is massive. Well, if we would be able to actually upgrade the ceiling habitat, power cost reduction. Let's do this. Let's do increase housing capacity by 30%, and then we can reduce the power dependency. So we're still waiting for the alloys to be shipped in. We can mark all of these things for all the ships. It doesn't really matter. they're just gonna be able to... Let's put them on lesser priority. Lowest priority over there. Let's put these on lower priority, like so. And we're gonna be able to therefore control what is mined with what priority for what sector. And we're gonna try to get the cargo in. And I would probably start processing the actual polymers, even in this sector. We can build like another stockpile.
An accident has occurred in the
Set it up for the carbon. And have a factory dedicated to processing it. Question is, where am I gonna put that factory? Would actually fit in nicely like so.
Has completed a task.
So we can do just that. Expand the road. So now we can put in 162 population. We can try to reduce the power cost. While the waste recycling policy is in effect, cell housing produces waste at rate 1 waste per 20 inhabitants over 15 cycles. Let's go with the reduction of the power first. I really don't have the recycling facilities installed. So we have discovered unusual bacteriological formations in the geyser of P51. The bacteria are not only capable of arranging amino acids, but by utilizing geyser emissions as binding agents, they restructure mineral deposits and carve out basins around the geyser. Further groups of bacteria were found within the basin. We have named the bacteria Myers, and we would like to carry out further behavioral analysis. Okay, so what we're gonna first do is collect the science points, and then we can take a look at the further thingy. Then we have 1, 2, 3 more planets to go through. And we can mark carbon for 3rd sector. So they can start bringing in and we can start producing polymers, because these are responsible for us being able to build the solar panels and the actual, the probes.
An accident has occurred in the typhoon.
So let the thing be dealt with. Okay, so conduct further tests on the Meyer bacteria. Gathered all the science points. We're gonna see how much more science points we can do. I'm not really sure how I feel about keeping too much storage with the frozen popsicles in here. I can theoretically put down another cargo hold and have them transferred in here in the meantime. I'm not really sure if we are eligible to get research for even larger storage. I would absolutely love that. We need the vertical parking stockpile upgrade is required, so we need to get that. And then we can go with large stockpile and see how much space will that thing occupy.
A science ship team has completed a task.
So let's see. The majority of Meyer bacteria live inside geyser tubes. Smaller groups do exist externally that appear to have been excluded. Samples from within the geyser reveal an organized society that is not only able to propagate other types of bacteria, but also use that what can be only described as tools exchanged via vesicular transfer. We theorized a bacteriological language, and with the help of PA sent a message to the colony through appropriate stimuli. They responded. The colony has proposed to follow us at an expedition to Tikwin. This will be a monumental undertaking, as a single human cycle corresponds to several hundred of theirs. We have determined that the best way to transporting the bacteria will be settle a small colony within the respiratory tract of one of our crew, perhaps an method, but it will provide the ideal condition for bacteria, an intelligence and aware species that is surely open to way of new perspectives. Okay. We're gonna collect the data and then we're gonna sacrifice some idiot to have a foreign bacteria invade his lungs. Of course, the tech lab has gone kaboom. Just as I needed to do the most crucial research about the storage. Thank you. Have we done the research for the science lab that allows it to research at like 60%? Research speed is increased by 80%. We can do even that. That would be awesome. But I totally want to get the large stockpile. So we can get this in 1.8 cycle. Stockpiles can send 2 more transporters. That also seems awesome. And we can get high-risk experimental field tech lab upgrade is required. So that's something quest related. Water treatment, drone bay. The nuclear power plant is starting to look more and more fancy. Let's take a look. Solar panels. Let's get one extra constructed so that we have some wiggle room with our energy. Science is being conducted. Maintenance. A large stockpile. Holy fudge, look at the size of this thing. It's huge. I want to get one. But I should not build it over here because it would block the entry to the other region. So right now we have access to the fort gate over here. This does not mean I would want to block the rest of it. Breakdown has occurred and prevented proper functioning. Awesome. I love it when our food production gets interrupted. That makes me super happy. Why haven't they brought in any of that freaking carbon yet? Oh yeah, because the priority is set low. Let's change the priority and get some carbon in. Let's transport the bacteria, see what's gonna happen. Hull's integrity has gone down because we were constructed the solar panel. So when the construction was running, the Eve airlock was unable to run the maintenance. Airlock. Construction speed increased. Repair efficiency increased by 10%. Definitely need that.
A science ship team has completed a task.
So let's see. We are no longer detecting any movement aboard the Francis. It appears that Russian Beklinski disabled communications by damaging the ship's equipment before the cessation of movement. There were severe alterations of the crew's vital signs. Okay, depressurize and repatriate the Francis. Hijack something. Francis will be repatriated along with its dying crew in compliance with quarantine protocol. In order to prevent the bacteriological contamination, the vessel will be depressurized before repatriation. 5 crew members have been killed. Great, loving it. Fucking bacteria. Ah, man. Wow, the storm is moving even further away.
Warning. A sector is being overworked.
I don't even know how many times I've lost the crew of the ship. I just don't see a possibility of you doing a playthrough without losing all of the crew. Like, you would have to memorize specifically which quest in which chapter will kill your crew and not click that quest and leave lots of things unfinished potentially. So that's like the only explanation I see being done. You know what? If we would move theoretically the frozen popsicles into the third sector, where we can keep the large freaking stockpile. If we would put the popsicles in here, relocate them from the dockyard of this one because it's anyhow completely full, it'll be beneficial. Okay, so let's go crack P43 now. We're gonna do the lower quadrant of the system first, and then we're gonna move on to the northern portion. And we can theoretically send out the probe to, I don't know, try to mine out some additional resources. What seems to be good? What seems to be on the menu? There was some iron and carbon. Fairly close to us as well. Don't have any science points, so our
completed its scan.
Facility, or our lab, is currently the only thing which is actually producing 5 science points every 5 cycles, thanks to the upgrades. But getting some science points from the space by exploring would be just faster.
In the tycoon.
Okay, let's restart the defrosting process.
A science ship has arrived at
I just have to monitor our food situation. That's the big problem which we can run into. Okay, and now we're gonna actually put sector 1 cryonic pods. We're gonna fill this up. I have no idea how much stuff can be stored in the cargo hold there. And sector 2 is gonna be shut down. Why is it doing this bullshit? I swear to God, the transfer of resources is the worst thing about this game, probably. I really don't like it. Are you... Ship it. I don't know how many. I cannot type it in to be exactly 500. I don't know how much the storage is. So it can stock up to 720 cryopods, which would help me remove majority of these ones. I don't know if having access to the train would actually help me with that. It's just that the cargo is moved by actually the stockpile droids. We can do the increased speeds. We can try to... Solar panels production is increased by 7.5. Let's do that. More power means more wiggle room. Perk P43. Our probe has discovered an unusual electromagnetic signal transmitted from beneath the surface of P43. The signal shares many similarities with the one of our team identified on Rokotsky Comet in Immortan system. Transmission from Francis team. This Francis crew, we have landed on P43. The electromagnetic signal seems to be transmitting from below the planet's surface. We only have limited amount of time to investigate before our suits and the Francis hull are compromised by the corrosive atmosphere. Peter recommends the use of demolition charges to accelerate the excavation. Let's do it. Let's blow up the planet. Or its surface. We're gonna try to not do all the things in here in order to not lose the Francis. Because we just lost the crew to the stupid bacterial colony. And I believe they actually okayed it. I'd have probably lied to the bacteria and put it in a test tube or something. The explosion, which was larger than expected, revealed a huge system of subterranean tunnels. Despite the rubble and the instability of the area, the Francis team identified passageway leading to the anomaly. The journey downwards was without incident. The anomaly is a large cave full of strange geological forms. Concentric circles are present on the walls, reaching from floor to ceiling and formed for many layers of different sediments. Crystal formations have grown everywhere. What is most astonishing, however, is the anomaly itself. A huge gray sphere, about 4 meters in diameter, floating in the center of the cave. Study concentric circles, examine the sphere, I guess. I don't think we'll be able to do everything because of the atmospheric effect on the ship. So we're gonna have to be careful about this. If I lose the crew, I'll get a little pissed off. Trying to look for any other resources. Hydrogen. That would be used for the nuclear power plant, but I don't have the tech yet. So we're still able to rely on the solar panels. Okay, silicon. There was somewhere a sector where I saw iron, carbon, and silicon, so... Where the hell was that? Unfortunately, the game is paused while I'm trying to probe the space.
No more resources available to mine.
Yeah, we're gonna find something.
A probe has completed its scan.
See? And this sector has plenty of stuff, still.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
Accidents will keep happening.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Let's see. The sphere repels anyone or anything that gets too close to it, as if it were a magnet repelling another. According to our readings, the sphere is composed of multiple layers. A thin gaseous layer covers the surface, seemingly sedimentary layer beneath. Within that, the core generates a strong electromagnetic field that periodically degasses the surface. We have also detected the presence of particles characteristic to self-similar space. Behavioral reports indicate that Chang is developing a strange fascination with the sphere. Examine the sphere. How much time do I have? I cannot find that in here. I want to wait to gather the science points, and then we can try to mess around with something else. And how many things have been defrosted? Okay, we can shut down the transfer. So this has 350 in the storage. We can still put in like one more larger storage. Or hell, we can even make another electronics facility, probably. Sector 3 would require some boost in its overall morale. So that's something which I should do with the stability centers. Theoretically, we can put down this. Have it connected to this. We can put down maybe... Ah, crap. Would not fit. Damn it! Disappointed! A population would be able to squeeze in. These two domiciles are full. This one is almost there. So let's put this one over here. And then we can put down the Legislative Strengthening Center somewhere as well. Population. These two would fit in here nicely. Still giving me a little bit of space. We need a storage for polymers. How much carbon we have?
An accident has occurred in the typhoon.
Or we can go with the big one. And we can build a road like so. And put a battery in here. The larger ones I cannot simply fit in, so it'll have to be the smaller ones, which I'm not that thrilled about. Can theoretically remove this road, and I will be able to put in the tier 2 battery. So once we have room for the polymers, it'll be more okay. Why would you blow up the location responsible for increasing your happiness, you idiots? Hey, you see, I'm getting population, I'm not getting workers, so I'm not really sure what the hell is the problem there. Let's go for one upgrade, I guess. Health center, 100 injured people, Hall Temple, Exo Fighting Dome, Observatory. I feel like these buildings are a little bit more useful right now. Collapsible stockpile can send 2 more transporters. We can go with that. Let's go to the system. Let's go with concentric circles. I think we're gonna be able to do only one more research. Lots of hydrogen and ice. There's some silicon. Can do upgrade for probe production, so that's faster. We're sitting on quite the high number of polymers as is. So probe launcher, probes move faster. Scouting radius increased by 40%, absolutely yes. That way we can send less probes, and their area of effect is much larger. So we're saving up on resources, and we're potentially looking at higher yields from the areas to which we are sending them to. Iron is kind of small here. I'm looking for some other deposits. Let's go over for that deposit. I'm not sure why this Quicksilver icon is... What the hell just happened?
A science ship team has completed a task.
Okay, that was weird. So, the concentric circle do not have classical geological origin. Phenomenon unknown and external to the geological activity observed on P43 generated these strange formations. The circles are not perfect, but the distance between each layer is proportional to their diameter. Atomic analysis revealed the presence of particles characteristics of self-similar space. Sensors indicate that the team suits and the Francis Hall will soon be compromised by planet's atmosphere. Repatriation should be initiated with urgency. So we're gonna collect the science points, and we're gonna send Francis then to our ship, and then we're gonna send it to Croc B37. Could theoretically even move Tickwin to make it less of a hassle.
A probe has completed its scan.
So leave the planet. One crew member has been lost. But it's better than the whole ship and the full crew. So some science points just won't be able to be gathered. You just have to learn to live with it. Okay, so polymers are being processed. Carbon is here. You even have food in here, god damn it. We can switch to food storage since we have so much of it. We have some science points. Speed up crew transfer between sectors also allows for the expansion of some buildings. Influence to all sectors. 81 science we do not possess, so we'll be stuck in that research for a little bit. What is the population like? 451, 190. Swear to God. They're just trying to mess with me. Let's get all the research for the memorials. We can then do Dolo Survivor Families. Provides additional stability to sector which has more than 400 crew. Okay, that can be done. DLS Center. Policy cooldown reduction, legislative strengthening, predictive behavior for DLS Center. Yeah, so we would need to get this in order to get proximity policy. Has the Francis back to Tiquin. Picks up the ship. Get the crew all ready for P-37. I really think I'm gonna try to put here the medium battery. I'll have to do something with the batteries as is, because based on my observation, when we were moving through the storm, the second sector and the first sector were absolutely suffering with the lack of this stuff. I'm thinking if I would remove these two insect farms, we have sufficient quantity of food in here. I might be able to just put down the battery in set place. So let's say like the big ass battery would fit in just perfectly. So let's do so. Because if we're gonna have to move around and do things, it's gonna be absolutely necessary for our survival. That's for certain. The small batteries are nice, but they can only hold so much juice. And that's gonna eventually negatively affect us. Okay, so we are gathering the initial science points, which is able to allow us to finish the first research. Okay, so summary of intelligence on Croc P-37 scan. Reading from P-37 are unusual. The planet has high level of radioactivity, and its diameter and position in the Croc P system seems to contradict theoretical models. Topographical analysis of its surface reveals the presence of huge crater. We have landed on the planet. The crater we have named Desolation. The ground here seems to be made of glass-like substance, possibly obsidian, and the crater rim is razor sharp. Telluric formation within the crater resembles waves frozen in time. We think we can pull some interesting data from sediment analysis, or we can try to discover what impacted here. Establish infrastructure to support advanced analysis. Let's do it. Why can't I select this thing? Confused. Okay, now we were able to select it. But do I not have alloys in the second sector? What the hell are you trying to tell me? I do. Why was it not willing to do that? I'm confused. Confusion. And then Croc B42. The storm is still, like, visible. I just hope it won't decide to suddenly return back and go in this general direction. That would just piss me off. And I'm also trying to figure out... So, locate a viable planet, have 4 sectors unlocked. Awaken 2,000 cryonic pods. Prepare for the Pyrenees. Build enough batteries so that at least 4 sectors will have backup power. Oh my god, I'm gonna be forced to do the 4th freaking sector. Gotta be shish kebabbing me.
Has occurred in the tycoon.
Isn't there a research... Hold on. Steel fiber patches. The hull deterioration whilst moving is reduced. Less damage from impact. All these I won't. Dickwind moves faster. Faster. Gateway. We have that. Docking bay. Loading and unloading resources is faster. Spaceship construction is faster. Let's go with larger storage for the docking bay first. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do that 4th sector if I want it or not. These all have somewhere to send the popsicles. Ridiculous. Swear to God, this is ridiculous.
Available to mine.
But we can potentially set up the sector to have access to the electronics. We're gonna need to spread out the electronics as is from sector 2. We can ship them out like so. And we should have the electronics into storage. Why don't we freaking have electronics? I'm so confused. Okay, sector 4 is gonna be the pain in the ass, as it usually is. So let's start off by following the blueprint, which we are working with here. It's gonna lead the way as so. Allowing to do... Okay, trust bonus is increased. I'm gonna start harvesting all this junk. We don't really have a choice. Put down storage for food. And put down the mess hall as well. This is all now dealt with. So now it's up to us to collect everything. We're gonna need also another storage for different stuff, but we can now actually have the advantage. We have already at the start access to the large storage or whatever. So we can design this sector with that in mind. Which can give us the biggest advantage. Speed this up, and let's take a look at... It's taking way too freaking long.
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
We have the larger cargo storage capability, so that can be all brought over, hopefully.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Oh my god, these are separate units. Man, annoying. So annoying. Let's try to gather all this. This cargo unit is now full, so now we can deal with the population. So population can be placed in the demotic quarters. We're gonna leave this space as is so that we can put in the larger storage. And over here we can put down a couple of these housing units. Then what we're gonna need to do is space. We're gonna need the docking bay. And I will require my Eve airlock as well for the maintenance. So this will burn through a majority of the cargo hold. Or all the alloys that we had accumulated in here. So this will all be burned through for the construction purposes. We're gonna have to put down the infirmary, or we can potentially research that other structure which would be responsible for being able to house 100 patients. But first of all, I'll need to ship out some freaking alloys into the sector. Because we don't have production established. Sector 2 should be turned off. So I'm not sure why this is even showing off in there. Can start removing the road to the resources which have been already gathered. We're gonna need a polymer storage. This is the electronics. We're gonna need the electronics.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
Do we want to actually commit to the larger storage containers? We'll be able to totally do that. Just have to replace or relocate the mess hall. Okay, so we can theoretically try to do a second science ship and 2 cargo ships. We're gonna require polymers. So the mining can be done by ships from different sector. It's important who brings over the resources though. I don't know, but let's highlight the electronics, grab them, put them over there, and then it can be switched back to the alloy. It can be shipped in. Now the alloys, this is gonna get finished. Can put in the polymers for now. And let's see, polymers. So alloy is marked. Polymers, turn off, like this. We're gonna need quite a lot for the construction of the 3 vessels. So let's ship it in. We're gonna need to set up production of
being overworked.
Food. The crop farm is a fun idea to do. If I build it like this, what is going on? We have the mess hall. You are storing food in here, so don't even piss me off with this. Sector 1 can ship out. Sector 1 to Sector 4. We can send in like 60 population. The housing is able to accommodate this. It's that we don't have workers, probably. This has still not been disassembled, which is pissing me off slightly as well. Maintenance, stockpile. This needs to be left here for now until we are able to shift to the different stability, population, infirmary. I would need to put down the mess hall next to the... Problem is the space requirement of the infirmary. Okay, so B-37 was until recently gas giant nuclear reaction of immense magnitude dissipated the planet's gas and vitrified its formerly liquid core. This event caused B-37 to deviate from its natural orbit. There's no evidence that this was triggered by collision with asteroid or other celestial body. We're gonna gather our sciencey points. How's the shift of the population going? We need freaking workers. The problem is, this thing is not defrosting workers. Okay, Sector 3. We can take a look at the cryopods. And we can ship them basically back to Sector 1 for defrosting. So we should now see the... Stop pissing me off, I swear to God. Do I need to turn them off too, or what's going on?
Transfer complete.
Really, really annoying. Please stop this. Come on. The hell is wrong with you? Do I need to send in more food or like what the hell? Food, Sector 4. It doesn't need to go from Sector 1. And the cryopods are pissing the living crap out of me. Sector 1. Please send in those... This is driving me nuts. I am... Oh, Malaka. Why are you doing this BS? I really wish they would rework this freaking system because I am absolutely going bananas here. Can we ship the freaking cryopods? Or do I need to mark? Oh, maybe this is why. So because it was marked for cryo and not for food. Okay, leave the planet. Francis, go to Croc P42. Build enough batteries so that they can last 4 sectors, 5 cycles. That's a lot. That is a lot. Batteries in this sector are gonna suffer the most. If I would remove these two, it would be possible. I can build in that big ass battery and these ones can be disassembled.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
Charging speed. Solar panel production increased. I want to do stuff with the hull's integrity. We have to deal with this weird ass situation in here. I'm not sure what to do. I need to ship the frozen fucking popsicles of humans from Sector 3 to Sector 1 so that we can get rid completely of them. This is still not completely full.
A science ship has arrived.
So please keep shipping them over until this is completely empty. We can keep defrosting population, and I'm able to ship out from Sector 1 to Sector 4 only workers, or from Sector 2 to Sector 4 only workers. Start the migration. That's gonna help us out. Stop protesting and pissing me off in the 4th sector, I swear to God. It should not be this complicated. So P42 is eligible for colonizing testing. Data collected will help shape future Dolos initiative. Requires resources. We need 60 colonists. We have 77 in the 2nd sector. Let's get that done. This can now be marked fully to commit to food. This still needs to be disassembled.
Population transfer complete.
We need to disassemble these two. In order to build that big ass battery. Unfortunately, in space of these 3, I won't be able to fit in anything useful, which is driving me up the wall. 41, 52. Can replace these 2 with better housing. We can squeeze in more population.
Tycoon death toll now stands at over 100 under the current administration.
Shut up. Okay, we need food. I need this. Okay. The ships are being done. So what do we need? We need the infirmary. I need cargo for alloy. And this takes up the place of 2 of the medium ones. So we can do this, and I can put down the mess hall elsewhere. I don't know, we can go here, we can put down the infirmary here. I still have room for 1 domicile for future potential expansion. This one will therefore be able to be disassembled. This can be switched to alloys so that this can be all like shipped out, processed, built, whatever. We have the electronics in here. We need to receive more alloys to finish all these stupid blueprints.
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
I need to set up food production.
The sector is being overworked.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, until we get more defrosting done. Okay, now it seems like they also kind of changed. How do I disengage the non-workers? Because I don't have control over what frozen popsicles were brought over. Seeing some chaos. Maintenance, large battery. Population. Like so. The electronics are pissing me off though.
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
I need to get some ice in this sector. So where was that? Hold on. We need the second sector to gather ice primarily. And we need... Let's mark silicon by fourth sector. So we can put silicon here, we can put electronics here. These two will have to be disengaged. This will need to be destroyed eventually once we get this constructed. And we will require the electronics facility, which takes up ridiculous shape and space, and I absolutely hate it. I freaking do.
A violent strike has started on board the tycoon.
Oh, knock it off. You know how difficult it is to build these things for stability and everything?
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
I don't have electronics. Well, I do. Marduk Memorial. And in front of it, I wouldn't be able to build this. Damn it to hell. This and this would work. The problem is this needs to be turned around differently. So if I do you like this, and if I do you like so, now we're cooking with the happiness and the stability. Can you knock it off with the stupid strike? I really don't have time for this BS. We need to keep shipping alloys to the fourth sector.
Warning. A sector is being overworked.
We're sitting on a crap ton of iron. This battery is still being charged. These ones can therefore be broken down. Problem is, what the hell would I put in their place? Since they have such a weird placement. We are somehow out of electronics in the sector which is dedicated to electronics production. And we're sitting on a crap ton of silicon, which I find absolutely ridiculous. If I build the factory here,
Has occurred in the tycoon.
I'm not sure what I would be able to build behind it due to the weird space that it's occupying. If I build the electronics here, the crop farm would not be really able to function in this sector. This does not need to store this, so we can go with this for the time being. The road. What would we be able to fit in there? 2 insect farms? Not even that. A crop farm requires water. This is driving me nuts. Insect farm and the storage, or no? I'm starting to hate you more and more with every second we go. Why can't you play nice, huh? We have a second science ship, but I don't have the reason or use for it right now, so that sucks. Factory, fusion station, not fit. Steel mill, absolutely not. Waste treatment center, can put one over here theoretically. We still need a crap ton of alloys to be transferred. Sector 2 alloy to Sector 4. Let's see, maybe now we will be able to ship this stuff. I'm gonna try to do the train station just for the hell of it.
A violent strike has started on board the Tycoon.
Hold on, please end it. We don't have time for that.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
We're sitting on a crap ton of carbon here. Water. We're gonna fill in this space before we get anything. And that's just driving me nuts.
The science ship team has completed a task.
Let's switch the cargo capacity, put the alloys in here for now. This way we can hold on to more of the raw resources, as there's still plenty of it floating around the space. Okay, summary of intelligence. Temporary test colony has now been established. The colonists will periodically transmit reports.
Warning, a sector is being overworked.
4 sectors will have backup power for 5 cycles. I need freaking alloys. I'm not getting alloys. We don't have somehow electronics, which is just... I don't get this. Why aren't you working? No more resources can be produced. But why is there so much waste, God damn it! I need a storage for waste right now. Let's try to ship it out. Maybe that will allow this building to do what it needs to do. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dedicate another storage to electronics somehow, which of course we don't have space for. And this is driving me nuts. The one thing I was hoping that would not happen is a bottleneck with electronics, but of course. Electronics. 20 silicon now produce 1 electronic. Let's try to get it done, though we don't really have the science points. Let's send Kruk P42 some science ship to gather the science points. I need to build batteries. This one needs to be finished. Let's now switch to electronics. Hopefully you have produced something by now, god damn it, so that we can finish at least this. And then I'm gonna have to figure out how to boost the production of electronics in this sector. Which of course is trickier and trickier. I have so many people in the 4th sector, none of them are goddamn workers, which is a proof that this absolutely doesn't work. The cryosis station is absolutely busted. I hate it. I freaking hate it.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
So without that, we won't be able to deal with whatever these objectives here are. I really don't want to replay the whole freaking chapter and deal with the storm and all this BS. I don't think I'm at the stage where I would have to do it. This is Sector 3. Sector 3, please bring in some freaking ice. Turn down this storage for now, since we don't have any ice in here as is. Of course, the one stockpile for storing alloys...
A sector is being overworked.
...has had an accident. That's convenient. Why aren't you guys shipping this stuff in, huh? It's alloy. We are literally swimming in this stuff. We have plenty of iron in storage, as is, I think. Maybe I need to go and look for more iron. Was there somewhere an iron deposit of larger scale which I have possibly missed out on? If so, please go and mine the living hell out of it. And then bring it home. Silicon is still being brought over. There's still some iron in here. Here is a rich sector. This is gonna give our mining vessels something to do.
A probe has completed its scan.
The storm has remained here. It's the smallest it's been. Probably due to how far it is away from our sensors, maybe. Who knows? High concentration of iron over there as well. So the mining ships should be able to mine all these goodies. Silicon, electronics.
Completed its scan.
We are out of electronics in every corner, which I absolutely freaking hate. I need to send out workers to Sector 3, which you are absolutely not doing. Sector 1 will need to bring in more popsicles as we keep defrosting these,
Accident has occurred in the tycoon.
so that we reduce the chances of the accidents. This cargo hold is almost full, and we haven't even processed a single electronic yet. Loving it. Electronics. And fewer workers required to run the building. The problem is the space this thing occupies. It's a ridiculously large structure. Why are we shipping electronics to Sector 1 for the love of God, when we need it in Sector 3 and Sector 4? Sector 1 is having lack of alloys. I don't see... we have alloy. Silicon is still in here. Alloy is here. Alloy is here. This is full of carbon, so we're gonna actually shut down carbon in the first sector. How's carbon in the third sector? Seems to be full. We're full on polymers. I really wish there would be some trading option or something so you can get rid of some surplus goodies from time to time. Okay, stability, maintenance, blah blah blah.
Accident has occurred in the tycoon.
I'm looking for anything. Well, we can theoretically cram in the battery in here. The electronics factory is gonna be done soon, thank God. I need to now disassemble this and then relocate these two. We'll need to put food into this one for now. We don't have electronics in the fourth sector. Please tell me you have now shipped the electronics here so that we can get this battery tier constructed. God knows how long this is gonna take. Dismantle.
A sector is being overworked.
I'm so confused with this so much. I really don't. The one thing which I have a big problem with this game is the actual capability of you transporting resources from Sector A to Sector B to Sector whatever. Once we have the stupid battery constructed and it charges up, we should be able to have it do what it needs to do. I don't think I will care about the stupid battery capacity. be more important for me to make the stupid jump. We have the colony on said planet.
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
I don't see it.
No more resources available to mine.
Can change that. There's hydrogen and ice, but that seems just like a waste. We have a crap ton of silicon. Let's go for this iron and carbon here. Not sure how I missed it.
A probe has completed its
It's gonna give the mining ship something to operate on. Quite a lot of iron actually, so really good stuff. I don't even think we need carbon honestly for now. So we can switch this off, and carbon overall can be like absolutely the last thing on our mind. This is driving me nuts. I need to relocate all of this. The electronics need to go here. The polymers need to be there. So this can be turned off. We can replace it with larger storage. Preferably a large one for food can be placed in there. Or two medium-sized ones. And a small battery. We're gonna need a factory to process iron and eat airlock as well. Food production, we haven't even touched on it. Everything is being shipped in.
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
Which is absolutely not the most optimal thing we can be doing. Let's put 2 insect farms over here for now. Obviously struggling with accommodating all these things. Silicon is almost completely filled up all of the storage units. All the alloys we get is immediately used up. You should be defrosting workers for this sector. Turn off everything else and just bring in the human popsicles for the time being. We can theoretically shift the storage to ice. Turn off the ice. We can put in the waste. Here we can have the electronics.
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
There's 197 waste ready to be disposed of in the crop farm alone. It's just shockingly huge number. Okay, so alloys here, alloy turned off. Electronics here, polymers here. These are essential building blocks, which we will require. And we can mark potentially iron for the ships to be extracted so that we can set up storage. For iron. So we can put down factory, the steel mill.
Warning. A sector is being overworked.
Wait, so what is the problem? Is it housing or... All of these are now full, huh? Can put this in here. That's gonna solve the issue for a while. Really need to get our alloy construction up and running in each sector so that we can keep creating it as it's the main resource for every blueprint.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
And why the hell am I still not battery prepared? This still needs the alloys. This will require the raw iron. Silicon storage is completely full. You would think that you would actually switch up completely to like having massive storage units, but they just occupy so much space, and it's really not that necessary to have some of these things in such high quantities because it's just pointless. Okay, electronics. To sector electronics, I can probably turn off. They can be sent to sector 1 and 3 from sector 2. We're gonna try to have at least 10 in this sector. And then we can mess around with sector 4 once it kicks in the production into overdrive. We're gonna have to put high priority on the battery. And we're gonna have to resolve the housing issue as well. Space, I don't think we're gonna be able to fit in the Eve airlock in here. I could have theoretically crammed it in here. We can decommission all this housing. Put in our Eve airlock. For the maintenance purpose as well. And put the housing... If I destroyed this one... Crew quarters, up to 20 members. 52... Problem is the space that we need. That's the thing which is killing us. And we need access to this road. What do we have that has space of 4 times 4? I would need to put in a stockpile of some sorts. I'm still kind of effed here when it comes to this. We can go like this for the population. This space, I think I'll leave for maintenance and some medium-sized storage unit. The battery is now done. Let's put you on high priority so that we get the housing issue resolved. Oh, we can build the stupid trains, huh? Try to build the train stations. We're gonna have to build it both ways in order to actually do what needs to be done. And I will need to construct a freaking solar panel. Which will lead to some deterioration of integrity. But we need to build this sucker. And use up like 200 something points of polymer, which is awesome. This is gonna liberate a large amount of space. And the reason why is the energy. We just got into really tough space there. Construction chance during dangerous weather condition is reduced by 50%. Let's take the impact and then we can go with steel fiber patching. Housing. Yeah, we can put this in for the iron. There is any to be gathered by the Sector 4 ships.
An accident has occurred in the
Let's turn off completely the gathering of the silicon. We have so much of this stuff. It's ridiculous. We have 1,000 just in this sector. It's gonna take forever to get this process into anything useful. The trains are starting to do its thing. I can only like build what, one per each of these things? Why can't I build this one? Do I need an upgrade for trains? Doesn't seem that way. Energy has helped us out. I don't know what is the most efficient way of having the trains constructed, to be honest with you all right now. But yeah, I think I'll cut it off over here, and next time hopefully we'll be able to make a jump to the next sector. I really have to have some discussion in order to resolve this battery nonsense, because we do have batteries in this sector. So this is for 3.4. Crap, this is not enough, so we will require another medium battery or something in order to actually get to where we need to get to. So that's why we're not fulfilling this last segment. And we completely ran out of silicon.
An accident has occurred in the typhoon.
So we can switch to silicon storage, and what we can do is send out silicon from sector 4 to sector 2. And this is gonna help reduce the clutter that we have in here. It's gonna help ship out all these goodies away. I'm gonna need some storage for the raw iron. Space, EVA airlock. Housing needs to be resolved because we are hitting like really high numbers. One of these is going to resolve majority of the homeless issue. And we're going to be shipping the silicon in here. We can therefore...
An accident has occurred.
Yeah, so that's gonna be it for now. If you like the episode, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see how further this is gonna evolve, dissolve, or whatever, then make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully on the next one we will make the jump to the 4th system. Thank you all for watching, and bye-bye for now.